An expert in rhetoric here in the United States, in fact, one of the leading experts in the United States on speech pathology and rhetoric, says that she has identified one of the absolute clearest signs possible of Donald Trump's cognitive decline. So before I talk about that, let me go ahead and say something here, because I have, of course, been very harsh on US media for basically completely ignoring Donald Trump's very obvious mental decline, but still to this day harping on Biden's. Now that this has become a major issue, and possibly because Biden's mental health is back in the news, we are starting to see more and more outlets pick up stories like this. Now, we're not seeing it in the traditional mainstream outlets yet. You know, it's not coming on ABC News or NBC or Fox, obviously, New York Times, Washington Post. But this one's from the Daily Beast, which obviously is a much bigger outlet than some of the independent ones who have been talking about this for years. So it is nice to see that at least to a small degree, the media is starting to talk about this. So the Daily Beast talked to Dr. Jennifer R. Mercieca, and my apologies if I've butchered that name. But anyway, she's a professor of communication and journalism at Texas A&M University. She is also one of the nation's top rhetoric experts. And here is what she identified with regards to Donald Trump's clearest signs of cognitive decline. She said, quote, "His lack of focus makes it seem as though he's experiencing cognitive decline, that his brain is not well disciplined and he's unable to maintain a thought and carry it through to a logical conclusion. Trump sees himself as someone who is unscripted and not on a teleprompter. He likes to brand himself as a truth teller who can and will say anything that comes to mind. Unfortunately, that makes his speeches difficult to follow as he digresses from thought to thought, seemingly connecting ideas at random." And of course, we had seen this, in the previous weekend where he gave that commencement address at West Point, where he started talking about the great late Al Capone, and of course the, mixing up your words like that instead of late great, he said great late. That can also be a, minor sign of cognitive decline if it's something that happens regularly. But he also started ranting about trophy wives. He keeps telling the same stories that are not relevant to anything over and over again. And that is a symptom of vascular dementia, by the way, as I have repeated multiple times. So all of this put together, the biggest sign that we have, according to the experts, that Donald Trump is experiencing probably significant mental decline is his speech, the way he talks. And again, I don't want to harp on this necessarily because I'm not the expert, but I will say I constantly am pointing out how Donald Trump will start a sentence and randomly end it somewhere else to the point where it's not even a coherent sentence anymore, right? It's not like subject, verb kind of structure here. It's just word salad, a stream of consciousness, if you will. Words pop into his head. Maybe they're related to the sentence he's saying. Maybe they're not, but they all come out in that particular sentence. This is not him flubbing his words, okay? As somebody who speaks for a living all day, every day, I can tell you flubbing words is common. It's something every one of us who does this experiences probably daily. Every now and then you get that perfect day where you didn't mess anything up. You didn't have any, moments where you had to pause and think of what you were going to say next. You just barrel right through it. That's not what's happening with Trump. This is not just the casual, oops, I forgot what I was going to say moment. This is constant. We see it in his posts on Truth Social. So it's not just in the speech, it's in the thought itself. Even when he has time to sit and think about what he's going to post. Because there is no, I got to get this out right this second. You have a moment to think about it, and he still can't do that. I think that, to me, is bigger evidence of cognitive decline than what he says in speeches or when talking to reporters. So the experts are telling us these are symptoms. And as I always say, when the experts tell you something, Those are the people we need to be listening to. And I'll add this. Those are the people who we need to be amplifying right now. If you or a loved one is on Medicare, this is important. Just the other week, the Department of Justice filed a massive fraud complaint against 3 of the largest Medicare brokers in the country. According to the DOJ, these brokers misled seniors, claiming to offer unbiased help while secretly steering them to insurance plans that paid the highest kickbacks. Not the best plan, not the right plan, just the most profitable one. It's infuriating, but sadly, it's not surprising. And that is why I recommend Chapter. After their own families were scammed by brokers, Chapter was founded to fix this broken system. Chapter is fully independent. They are the only national advisors that search every Medicare plan available to find the one that actually fits your needs. They advocate for you, not the insurance company. No steering, no pressure, just ethical, honest help at no cost to you. So if you want help with Medicare, give Chapter a call by calling the number on the screen. You'll talk to a real person who'll help you figure out exactly which plan is right for you. Chapter has saved the average senior over $1,000 a year, and they are a free resource for my audience. Call Chapter today or go to askchapter.org/Farron.